Welcome to Smoltzy friends. Today's podcast, we're going to dive into an incredible story of human strength, resilience, and the power of faith and perseverance. Today's story reminds us all what it truly means to fight, to endure, and to overcome the unthinkable. I'm going to protect my friend's name and say this story is about my friend. Now, when we think about perseverance, we often picture someone pushing through their challenges with unwavering determination. But the truth is, perseverance isn't always about facing challenges head on and winning. Sometimes it's about simply showing up day after day when the odds seem against you. My friend's journey isn't one that's been marked by one grand moment of triumph. It's been a slow, steady climb, a year and a half of patches, setbacks, and constant medical challenges. But through it all, my friend has shown us something far more important. True resilience isn't about what we can control, but how we respond to the things we can't. The story begins when life threw my friend a series of tough medical battles, each one seeming more difficult than the last. From surgeries to treatments, their body was often pushed to its absolute limits. At times, it felt like the world around them was shifting in ways they couldn't see an end in sight. But they kept the faith and they kept on fighting. This story isn't just about challenges, it's about the way they faced them. Even when things seemed darkest, what tomorrow would bring was very unclear. They maintained a quiet strength. There were days they couldn't get out of bed, days they had to rely on others for the basic things. But on those same days, there was something else at work. In the middle of the hardest moments, they kept on saying, "This too shall pass." And with each passing moment, they got a little bit stronger. It wasn't always easy. My friend made a conscious decision to face each day, to acknowledge the struggle, but not let it define them. They found strength not just in their body, but in their mind. They understood that resilience isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. And while the path was never fully defined, each new hurdle came with a new lesson, and patience, and grace, and about how much we're capable of when we dig deep. But this story isn't only their own. It's a story that impacted everyone around them, including friends, other family members, and even strangers who heard of this journey. Because when someone keeps pushing forward, it doesn't just inspire those closest to them. It creates a sea of hope. It shows us all that even when we feel like giving up, there's always something more we can tap into. They didn't just persevere for themselves, but they did it for those that were watching, for those who were struggling alongside of them, for everyone who needed a reminder that we can get through anything if we keep moving forward. And perhaps most importantly, they showed us the power of not just surviving, but thriving, finding joy, laughter, and purpose in the face of adversity. As we look back on our friend's journey, we realize that this is not the end of the story that defines them, but the way they walked through the entire process. Because sometimes it's not about the destination, it's about the way we handle the journey. We often think that perseverance means pushing through without purpose. But my friend's story tells us that perseverance isn't a straight line, it's a windy path, filled with ups and downs, twists and turns. And sometimes it's the smallest moments of progress that make the biggest impact. My friend's journey is still unfolding, but one thing is clear: their strength, faith, and their grateful heart will continue to inspire long after the toughest days are behind them. This story is a reminder to us that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how dark the road may seem, there's always a way forward. And that's what perseverance is truly about. Thank you for listening to Unthinkable. We hope that our friend's story has inspired you to keep pushing forward in your own life, no matter what obstacles stand in your way. Stay strong, stay resilient, and remember, sometimes the most unthinkable things can be possible when you refuse to give up.